The Advocacy Center was one of the first started here in Illinois by a detective from Streamwood named Darwin Adams. He worked along with the Hanover Township Mental Health Board, with a state representative named Terry Park and other local politicians to try to secure funding. And through their hard work, they created the original program back in 1989.
Our particular Children's Advocacy Center, I think, makes a difference because we use the original model, which is we're in a house. So rather than children and families having to go to like a sterile hospital or police department environment, we're in this adorable farmhouse.
We try to be a very welcoming place. We're located in a house, so we try to be very kid-friendly and very bright and cheerful. We have a waiting area that's meant to keep them comfortable. We have age-appropriate movies, books, games, coloring books. We have a kitchenette with snacks and juice boxes. Our interview rooms are geared towards children. They're very bright colored. They have beanbag chairs back there, crayons, paper. We don't want them to be scared to be here, even though they're here for something unpleasant.
I think because we're in a house, a lot of people assume that we have cots upstairs or something, but no, kids don't stay here. If kids need to be removed from a family or from a parent, that's DCFS. They do all that stuff.
I am the first contact with the family, so I'm explaining to them who we are at the center, that we're not investigators. We're here as a neutral third-party agency. I explain to them what their day here at the CAC will be like. I answer any questions that they might have. It's a very confusing time, and a lot of the times they're only given certain information, so I try to bring the rest of that information into light for them. I work with the parent to try to schedule the interview for a good time for them to come in and bring their child. Once the interview is scheduled with all the party members, I'm also in charge of creating a file in our computer system to make sure that everyone has all of the information about the child, the family, the allegations of why they're coming in.
An advocate, I believe, is like a right hand of a family. Our goal is to make sure that a family is educated about what is happening to them, what the investigators will do, such as DCFS and a police department. Our role is to educate them how the investigation will proceed.
We as advocates work with the family from the very beginning, from the first day that they come to the center, when we do the forensic interview, all the way to the end. We work sometimes with families. It could be 6 months, it could be 3 years. If the case becomes court active, we're there with the family, providing supports, explaining the whole court process, connecting them with the state's attorney's office again, letting them know that there is someone here, they're not alone in this whole process.
I talk to the child in a child-friendly atmosphere and hopefully being very sensitive to the child in the child's language. And all the other parties who need to be involved, like DCFS or state's attorneys, are behind a mirror. They can listen to the whole conversation. They can observe what's going on in the room where I am interviewing the child, and the child can only be interviewed one time. The whole purpose of the forensic interview is to get the facts of the allegation.
The day of the interview, the child gets to pick which room they want to be interviewed in, which is kind of nice. We have this room in here that's kind of more set up for teenagers or older kids. And then our other interview room, which we call our Mickey Mouse room, has Mickey Mouse all over the place. I've interviewed 4-year-olds in this room and 16-year-olds in the Mickey Mouse room. It really depends on whatever they want that day. And plus we want to give kids some sense of control of what's going on in their life. So I really am going in and doing this one-time interview with this child, getting to know them, building rapport. Always in my interviews I ask kids about telling the truth versus telling a lie, and understanding that they need to know that it's really important that they tell the truth to me, and then getting all those details about what happened. It's tough. The way that I kind of balance it is I also do therapy here, because if I was just listening to stories of kids being abused all day, forget it. So I have to do the counseling part of it to watch kids heal from it, because they really do. Kids, sexual abuse happens a lot. So if that were the case, that if you fell apart, everybody fell apart if they were sexually abused, we'd have a lot of people walking around this world not doing too well. But kids, if they get counseling and they have a supportive family, they thrive, they do okay. So I like to do the counseling stuff too, to be able to kind of see that.
I help to write grants that support the services that we provide. Everything that we do is offered free to the families we work with. So we ask the communities that we serve and private foundations and the state of Illinois to support those services.